Namaskar. A warm good morning to everybody for SPIC MACAY's Anubhav series. Today we have the Kuchipudi legend, Srimati Vyajayanthi Kashi ji with us. Ma'am, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you for the SPIC MACAY Anubhav series. I now ask Raksha to take the moderation forward. Over to you, Raksha.
Thank you, ma'am. Srimati Vyajayanthi Kashi is one of India's most respected classical dancers. Her career spans over an impressive spectrum of performance, choreography, teaching, acting, research, and organizing. Her work has been featured in several national and international festivals around the globe in and around 30 countries. Having had her training in Kuchipudi, Yakshagana, Kalapams, solo aspects of Kuchipudi, and temple ritual dances from legendary gurus like late Guru Bharatakala Prapurna, Korada Narasimha Rao, Padma Shri Vedantam Satyanarayana Sharma, Vedantam Prahalada Sharma, and C.R. Acharya respectively, she has proved to be a dynamic force in Kuchipudi. Founder of Shamavi School of Dance, Vaijanti Kashi has choreographed around 30 dance productions and added many new themes into solo Kuchipudi repertoire like Rudramadevi, Krishnarpanam, Chitralolita, Stabdha, Yagna, Ambe, Veerabharati, and more. Her choreography is a blend of technique, philosophy, and aesthetics which transport the audience into a different plane. She has curated many dance festivals like Gejenada, Naika, Moolam, and has organized the Bangalore chapter of Navapallava. Dance Jatre, India's first ever international dance fair, is her brainchild, which has created history in the pages of Indian dance. She has been honored with several awards, including Presidential Puraskar from Central Sangeet Natak Academy, Karnataka State Rajyotsav Award, Mahari Award, Suvarna Bharataratna Award, Nritya Chudamani from Sri Krishna Ghana Sabha, Chennai, Kalashri from Sangeet and Nritya Academy, Bangalore, V. Astitva, Alvas Nudisiri Puraskar, Vocational Excellence Awards from Rotary International, Aryabhatta for her contributions to Kuchipudi. She serves as a member of Central Sangeet Natak Academy, New Delhi, and has served as the chairperson of Karnataka Sangeet Nritya Academy. We are very happy to welcome Srimati Vaijayanthi Kashi, who is a personification of grace, finesse, and sadhana to our Anubhav interactive live session. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you to each and every member of the SPIC MACAY, which is such a wonderful organization, headed by a great pillar, but supported by many, many youngsters. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. Let's commence the session. To commence the session, most of us already know by now as they had workshops, Kuchipudi is one of the classical dances of India and traces its root to Natya Shastra. Being one of the exponents of Kuchipudi, it would be an honor for us to listen from you few words about Kuchipudi.
So I know by now youngsters are so good, they Google information, and the workshop leaders are supposed to tell them little about the workshop, about the history of Kuchipudi before they do the workshop. But still today and I know that you have many speakers as well, what I'm going to talk to you is something which has touched my heart as a Kuchipudi dancer. As you all know, the only dance form which takes its name from the village or its place of origin is Kuchipudi. This is a tiny village, but an amazing village. And what makes it so amazing? This village and this art form has been talked of even in Natya Shastra, they say, and in several books. Of course, as you all know, that names keep changing. Even the name, what Kuchipudi was earlier, has been called differently, Kusilavapura and Kuchinnapuri, and different names. But finally, we come to this name, Kuchipudi. What makes this village so special? And why is it that it carries such a beautiful history as far as art is concerned? I think because of its location. On one side, you have Mava, a small Krishna's temple, where Kshetrajna wrote so many padams, and Krishna was his lover, and he made so many padams which are performed by several dancers in several styles. And very close, you have Ghantasala. Ghantasala, where there is history tells us that there were so many dancers in that tiny temple, and Ghantasala is this great musician whom we all know of. On one side, there is Srikakulam. And Srikakulam has the history of hosting 300 dancers. And it's believed they all danced. And I visited that temple. Now, when we visit these places, and the imagination that we have, wow, 300 dancers in this temple, you see only a tiny temple. Like I felt when I went to see Krishna at Dwaraka. It's a small place. You can't imagine the imaginations that we have, and when we see the place today, may not be connected. But history is just not the past. It's what we see in the present by the lifestyle, by the culture that is followed. And I recommend that at one point in time, if you're a dancer who's interested, there are some places that you must visit. Kuchipudi, you must visit. Bhagavata Melattur, you must visit in Karnataka, Idigunji. These places are very small, but are very special. And I think it is this isolation which has made them great, because there is a concentrated focus that one has and the nature provides. In this tiny village, every house resonates with music, with yakshagana, with dance, with rhythms, And when you look at the people, they're so simple, but highly philosophical. No wonder the yakshaganams, what makes Kuchipudi special for me is the themes that have been selected into this repertoire. We may at one point ask, do those stories of Puranas, which they talked of Prahlada, which they talked of Kshirasagara Mathanam or Amrita Mathanam or Mohini Bhasmasura, do they have relevance for today? But for me, they are evergreen stories. And no wonder that Kuchipudi, this movement which has started as Yakshaganams several years ago by great gurus, it still lives alive in the hearts of many a people. I personally, humbly remember all the gurus, scholars, musicians who have worked to make this Yakshaganam, which was more a Natya Mela. When I say Natya Mela, it was a group of only men performing, and they performed for nights. The performances lasted for nights. And who were the audience? They were the surrounding village audience. So the kind of presentation, the dialogues, the vachika, those yakshaganams were dominated with drama, less of dance, what you see today. And they had a lot of dialogues. Of course, it was in the regional language because that was their audience. The stage was small, but their art was not small. They made sure they touched each and every person with their art. What was their strength? Manobhava, spontaneity. And believe me, one cannot be spontaneous. One cannot get that Manobhava dance throughout the night for nights together without going into the depths of the art. Now, what makes, I said, I love their themes. Let's look at the themes. Amrita Mathanam. Do they have relevance today? Churning the milky ocean for that pot of nectar can be looked at from various points. Everybody is needed. The team, the concept of team. And here you must remember when the Natya Mela technique was there, the dance drama technique was there, only men did their roles, of even the females. So this art of Rupanurupa started right from there. Probably this goes back to our description of dance in Bharata's Natya Shastra, the first presentation made. But this shows how adaptable they were to the situations. Probably there were many situations why women could not be included. Just imagine women dancing all night, or they traveled from village to village for months together, spreading this message of dance, not only dance, using the medium of dance, religious, science, high philosophy, everyday matters. It's so interesting that not only the Amrita Matana, the very concept that Hiranyakashipu's son was Prahlada is so interesting, that a demon king had Prahlada who amazed even Narasimha. So it gives you a thought that anybody can become that high philosophy, Tattvamasi, or Soham, or that I'm a part of that beautiful, that high imagination. So everyone have that essence, and bringing it out in a small boy like Prahlada, whose father was a demon king, is such a beautiful lesson, that he was saying Hari and his father was saying Hari is my enemy. This concept, and the very concept that, Prahlada, Hiranyakashipu with his ego, he thinks he's so intelligent, he's so powerful, he loses the powers of what he meditated to get a boon, to say none can kill me. How is this impossible? Not during day nor night. See, this is very important. I repeat this because there is a force that is stronger than all of us. We may pray for anything, but that force always has another way where dharma wins. So this was the theme of their presentation. I'm not just talking of that. Even today, how do we become eternal? That moksha, what is that pot of nectar? You remain eternal with your works, with your thoughts, with your lifestyle, the way you live and the way you leave something behind. And when it came, as it came from the Natyamela technique, which was called Yakshaganas, and that's why the Kuchipudi Melams, it was called Melams. You see, when earlier days, these were called Melams, the groups, and later it came to Kalapams, probably because it was difficult to manage this entire group, and it became Kalapams. So there's somebody who's always thinking far ahead and wanting to do something, thinking of the future, have a vision for the future. And they said, oh, let us have 3 people. A Kalapam generally has 3. The famous Kalapams, as most of you all would know, will be Bhama Kalapam, Golla Kalapam. There are other Kalapams too. But what we hear is very famous is these 2. So what is Bhama Kalapam about? Again, the theme. The union of Jivatma with Paramatma. Or we are a tiny speck of that beautiful cosmic energy, and that cosmic energy, and when you have the possibilities of becoming as huge as the cosmic energy. So this comes from a very deep thought. How? No wonder they say the Kuchipudi gurus were well read in Shastras. They were masters of not only Natya Shastras, but Vedantam, Puranas. They were musicians, they were actors, they were philosophers, they were yoga specialists in yoga, tantra, mantra, yantra. When you become an expert in all of this, and you use art as a medium, because everybody is not so, you want to touch the heart with your art, can you imagine the kind of quality that can come out? So the Kalapam, the concept of Jivatma and Paramatma for a youngster is beyond thought. So what did they do? They brought in Satyabhama. And Satyabhama is, mind you, of course, she is mentioned during killing of Narakasura. She is mentioned as the most beloved as Krishna's consort. And from a tiny episode, Siddhendra Yogi, because at one point, when Satyabhama goes to ask Draupadi that, can you teach me the secrets of how you have held these 5 Pancha Pandavas? I want to learn this art from you. Draupadi has just told Shastras of how a woman should be, how she should be. She should not never make her husband feel that she's better than her husband, how she should be an expert in cooking, how she should be serve the mother-in-law or take care of the family. This is the gist of what Draupadi says, actually. But then Siddhendra Yogi has, they say, has imagined her beautifully and brought out this kalapam which has stood the test of time. And mind you, Satyabhama is one woman who every woman wants to be, not man. Before the men were performing it, the qualities that she has acquired and the style of presentation they did. The Praveshadaru, for example, which other style has Praveshadaru? Like you say, you introduce yourself, right? Imagine in a Praveshadaru, Satyabhama is saying, I am the daughter of Satrarjitu. I am the most beloved of Krishna, and I am the most beautiful. And she's just not saying this because she's beautiful. What makes her beautiful is she was the one who was so well adept in the art of Yuddha, even Shastra, the Yuddha Shastra, that she kills Narakasura. And then, but how did he imagine this? She has all this quality, but if she's proud, that's where Krishna says, that ego of yours, I want you to melt. It's just a symbolic representation that reminding all the viewers that if you want to become one with Krishna, let go that ego. So I feel the themes and a letter writing, how well these Kuchipudi gurus have thought of it, right from its minute details. Can you imagine? She writes a letter to Krishna, an elaborate letter which is done as an item. It's called Lekha, where she just sits in one place because then the stage was small. And as I told you, in the Kalapams, of course, in the Yakshagana, the Nritta element was very less. When it came to Kalapam, there was more of Nritta, but the main thing was Sattvika Bhava and the your Manobhava, your spontaneity, Manodharma, that becoming that character, that gave the possibilities to express yourself. So they used the Pravesha Dharma to introduce oneself, which is so important in everyday life. There's a dream sequence in another Yakshagana, Usha Parinayam, where she dreams of Aniruddha. Who doesn't dream? It's so close to life. But through these dreams, they have a message. There she says, he can be none other than the son of Vishnu. And a clue that whom you dream of or who should be your man could probably have those qualities. It's just not by looks. I relate to all of this like this. I don't know how others relate to. And the very dream sequence, the letter writing, how feminine how gentle you must be to write a letter and share all your pent up emotions through that letter she sends. And there's a sequence where she gives it to Madhavi. And here the Madhavi is the third character. Krishna, Satyabhama, and Madhavi. Madhavi usually is said to be like a guru. He unites the Jivatma and the Paramatma. The concept of guru coming in. Without a guru, yes, everybody can work towards self-realization. Or, even dance, may it be spirituality, may it be learning. You need a guru. The importance of guru brought out through this Madhavi. In Kalapa, how she says, okay, I'm going to give you this letter. I'm going to give it to Krishna, but give me your nose stud. And nose stud was supposed to be the best jewel a married woman could have. And there, Satyabhama, she tries to give her all her precious jewelry, like her Vadyanam, her whatever, all the jewelry that she had. But then she says, no, I want something, Yamukara. Which means try to give away all that you really cling to if you want to see the ultimate. I see it like this. So for me, the themes of Kuchipudi have been so special, the way they've handled it. And in Golla Kalapa, Now that's another kalapam where a milkmaid, there's a situation where the milkmaid brings milk and she gives it to a Brahmin who's supposed to be doing the yajnams. Now he takes it, holding her at a distance, and don't touch, this untouchability concept. So using the milkmaid, the gurus have done such a beautiful concept. She says, how can you, I'm the one who milked the cow, I bring it to you, and you're just talking of physical attributes, and you're saying that I and you are different, and I'm a low, downtrodden woman. How can this be? Because you're saying you're a Brahmin, you have done the Pancha Yagnyas, you're telling you know the knowledge of the Pancha Koshas in the body, like the Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. All this, you're so learned, and you don't know the secret of knowing that we are all born in the same way. And in the eyes of God, there is no up or down, no person who's looked down on or up on. You're all the same in the eyes of that person. And through this, they also brought about Pindotpatti, how the child is born. Even before the conception process happens, because of your karmas, you decide to come into a particular womb. You decide your parents. You come, and in every month, the grahas help the development of the child in the embryo. Such as science. What about when? Even today, probably we don't know what month, what development happens. But in Gollakalapam, the gurus have scripted this and presented this. Which means the gurus of the yesteryears knew the shastras, knew everything thoroughly. And no wonder they brought out such themes which resonates to our lives even to this day. And this, according to me, is what makes Kuchipudi very, very special. And, they were so adaptable to times that when we got independence, and from Sadirnatyam, the Bharatnatyam, what we see today, became so popular, codified, refined it and reformed it and set up the new codifications for it to make it presentable to the now generation. Starting from our independence, it has seen so much of evolution. All other forms started getting attracted and said, yeah, this is this possibility. From Yakshaganam to Kalapam, the thinkers, they're always people who think beyond, and they are the genius minds. So they said, why not think of solos for Kuchipudi? And what we see today, solo that has spanned the world, is a contribution of all those thought processes brought about by gurus. And we must remember many others too, but the name that we all talk of is Vedantam Lakshminarayana Shastri. And the father of Kuchipudi, as you all know, is Siddhendra Yogi, who got this Bhama Kalapam and concept of bringing Brahmin boys to be very good in shastras, in dance, in music, in theatre, in everything, right from the age before they were born. Every family committed one child, male child, to Kuchipudi. But there's change is the law of nature. So from men, from the gurus, from performers from generations to generations who have worked so much to propagate and preserve this rich culture, thanking them, we remember Kanchanamala, who was a first dancer outside a she was an outsider. She was the first one to present this in the conference of the first conference of music and dance, along with the support of Banda Kanakalingeshwar Rao and Appa Rao, to make the welcome of women, the grand entrance of women to Kuchipudi, the solo form which you see today. And see, when the solo Kuchipudi came up, what was the repertoire? There were certain items that were presented in the Yakshaganams. They were adapted into the solo repertoire. Along with that, the gurus worked towards introducing new items. As I said, again, the theme came in. The theme came in into solos too. They performed the Dashavatara Shabdam, which talks of course, about the 10 incarnations of Vishnu, but of the evolution of mankind, humans, how they, from the first stage, from the Alphabean stage or whatever, to the human that he evolved, the Dashavatara. And what else did they include? The Tarangams, which is the item of Kuchipudi. Tarangam, it's very catchy. As I said, every art form has to respond to the needs of the audience to some extent and keep the Shastras in mind. Just because audience want, you don't give everything. Keeping the Shastra in mind, if you're an intelligent guru, if you're an intelligent choreographer, you present something which will touch their heart. Because if you don't touch the heart of the audience, you will not have an audience. So they got the Tarangam. Now, Tarangam, they introduced the dancing on the plate with the balancing a pot and sometimes the light in the hands. Where did this concept come from? The Karma Yoga, the Bhakti Yoga, the Jnana Yoga, which comes in Bhagavad Gita. So unless they knew so much about that, how could they introduce this? Again, how deep your knowledge should be before you attempt to choreograph is a lesson that one should think of. And if you see from a very common level or a level of normal thinking, you'll think, wow, what balance this dancer must have to dance on the rim of a brass plate and to also have pot. Isn't that the key to success? Isn't that the key to learning? Balance. Balance is something that we all must learn to have. How beautifully they've intertwined these things and put it into the concept of dance. This is what has amazed me all the way through. And every time I think of it, I become a student and I say, there must be another dimension to it. You know, the sun has 7 layers and much more. It's just not that we see is the truth. There are so many hidden truths and hidden layers that only when we have that concept of I am still a student, there's not much more that I can see from the point of an actor, from a dancer, from a philosopher, from a scholar, from a critic, from a musician. When you see from all these points, I think your art gets enriched. So this is what I have to share about Kuchipudi. I don't know if I've crossed the limit, but Raksha?
This is beautiful, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Most of us got to know in depth about Kuchipudi, and you also spoke about, gurus and kalapams and all. So, what according to you is Guru-shishya parampara? Or maybe can you just talk about your journey with your gurus?
First of all, Guru. Where did this concept come from? It came from spirituality. And from that, because of course, dance is another kind of spirituality, probably this came into the concept of dance as well. And as I was always saying, we all can learn things, but with a guru, you get more focus, you get into the stream more easily, because the guru would have spent all his time trying to get that secret, and his guru would have spent more time. This is what is called the lineage of guru or the parampara of guru. What is a guru? Who is a guru? I always say this and I want to say this. We all consider Krishna as Vasudeva, as the Lord of the universe. Imagine, even he had a guru, Sandipani. And he and Balrama go to learn from him. And I visited this temple when I went to Ujjain. I felt, wow, this is what I needed. I've always loved my gurus. I've treasured them because that was the first lesson my parents taught me. And I think, though your mother is the guru, the first lesson probably she teaches you also is respect your guru, because she is your first guru. Remembering her and remembering many gurus, the Saptarishi Mandala. They waited for several years to learn those. Each one got something from Shiva. how many years they waited to get for that. They say it's more than 97 years, if I remember. But like this, you have to wait for your guru, or sometimes the guru waits for your shishya, for a shishya. It's a give and take relation. My first guru was Ramanna. He taught me Bharatanatyam. I was a child. I never knew what guru means, but I knew because I believed and trusted my mother. She was my most loving person. I said, oh, guru is somebody I must respect. So I always respected him, but I was naughty. I troubled him. I would run away from class. But probably he knew that I will take his art to I'll continue dancing. And he was so patient with me. He called me his daughter. And whatever today that I know, my basic foundations, my sense of rhythm, my love for dance, my discipline as a dancer comes to him. I learned dancing, Bharatanatyam, till I was 13. Said goodbye to dance for another 12, 13 years because I got busy with life, studies, this, college, work, marriage, as usual. But my second innings started off with Kuchipudi. Thanks to C.R. Acharyulu, who was a visiting Bangalore then. And I heard that, he's very good in this art of dancing and drawing images. The peacock, the simha, the lotus, and so many, Ganapati, and so many things. I said, wow, this seems interesting. I've never heard of this, but I never knew it was Kuchipudi. So I went. I was fortunate that on seeing me, he said, you are my dancing daughter. See, this is what I say, because that time even gurus were looking, they had this eye, they had that Divya Drishti, I think. See, it's an exaggeration, but what is Divya Drishti? Is you see even today, when somebody enters the class, I'm no yogi, but I want to be one, because a dancer should be one. When I see a student, the minute she enters into the class, I feel, yes, this girl has that spark. This girl, if I trigger her, she can take it ahead. That's why these gurus have, when they see somebody, they say, she's my dancing daughter. He came, he was such a legend. He was with Mrinalini Sarabhai, but he came and immediately stayed in my house for 1 month. He started teaching me. And in a few months, I was already with my Arangetram. What made him think so is probably, and also thanks to my Bharatanatyam guru, who had given me that strong foundation. And when he told me that he's my dancing daughter, I was 27, and he was already in his 65s. There were so many things we couldn't connect to each other. Luckily, he knew English. I didn't know a word of Telugu, but it was sometimes very difficult to match his experience, because every time he taught, he would be so different. But then I didn't have the maturity to think, how come he forgets so much and he changes? That was in my immaturity. So sometimes the gurus hint something. If we cannot take this, we are at fault, because it's our childishness. Nobody can match experience. He stayed in my house. I would sit at his feet. I would write down notes, because we didn't have recordings then. I would pose him 1,000 questions. All my gurus, I've had about 7 gurus. Some people may say she's not honest to a guru. You must stick to only one guru. What did Dattatreya had? He learned even from the ant. So, but for me, I don't see the physical guru. I see, what did he teach me? What did I learn from him? What was his great quality that I don't have, that I should adapt? I always take the philosophy of my guru, and I trust them totally. I learned this. I did my Arangetram with him. I used to serve him. I was young, but I was newly married. I would cook for him. Sometimes I used to get irritated because several days he never taught me. And I was working in a bank. And I would take leave because he would come. And he would say, no, today you do the same thing, or he would not teach. That time in my mind, I did feel, my God, I've wasted one day. But today when I look back, I say, I'm so sorry, because art is not something, a mechanical thing that you say, this is the syllabus, this is what you learn, this is what you do. It's not just a syllabus. It's not just teaching art. Your guru has to teach you the next guru after your mother is your dance guru. I'm talking of my dance guru. He teaches me spirituality. He teaches me padams. Through padams, he teaches me what is love. Through javalis, he teaches me what is feeling shy. Through many kirtanas, he teaches me how to do puja, how to do the gandham, how to offer worship. He teaches me everything. And in this process of teaching, we share a bond which grows layers, layers, layers. And today they are a layer in my heart. Without them, there is no day. Because he kindled the spirit in me to be an artist and to be more, to know more. Of course, I couldn't continue my journey with Acharyalu because he was from Ahmedabad and he had his own issues to deal with. He stopped coming. I was fortunate that the government of Karnataka sent me for a workshop to learn under Vedantam Prahlada Sharma in Warangal, in a temple. Now I say this because learning in a temple in Andhra, you become by whom you're surrounded with. One is your guru. The minute I saw Prahlada Sharma, he had those 3 strokes here with a beautiful kumkum, which made me think that is the third eye, and that he sees me, he x-rays me. That any little mistake I did, whether he knew or knew, I felt, God, I should be, he's my guru, he's my God. I looked up to him with such great. These are the things I think which take us a long way. I didn't know Telugu. I'm not a Telugu person. I'm a Kannadiga. I had to travel alone. I was married. I was working in a bank. My God, it was tough times. But let me tell you, it's worth it all. Even in my next janma, I want to be a dancer. And I want to have these gurus. Him was a different fashion. Are we running out of time?
Maybe we can have some time more. Should that
Yeah.
be okay, ma'am? Yeah.
Yes, don't worry. Don't worry. The time and the subject you have given me, I can cut it short. Like, Kuchipudi was done for nights together. They have brought it down to 1 hour, to 20 minutes, to what? So let me also cut down this. Finally, what I want to say is, the guru does not teach you dance alone. He teaches you everything that you want to be in life. And this journey can flourish only with this one beautiful flower, which is called faith. The minute there is a little doubt either in the guru or shishya, the thread or connection of exchange of knowledge is cut. Because he doesn't teach you like mechanically. Dance can never be taught mechanically. Dance has to transmit from heart to heart. Even to please your God, the Hridaya Kshetram is very important. And once this is culminated, either in the guru or the shishya, learning doesn't happen in that level. But what I would tell the youngsters is, and I want to thank SPIC MACAY here, is they try to sow in the seeds of this Guru Parampara. When we as artists go, the volunteers, they see us, they make us feel that they have known us for years and they respect us. So never take your gurus for granted. Respect them because they have a lot more to give than you think that they can give. And you will receive only that which what you deserve to get, because you are open only to that. That's why a guru always wants a shishya who's curious, who'll bring out the best in him. It's the duty of the shishya to kindle that spirit. And I'm so happy all my gurus said, when I used to ask so many questions, they used to say, my God, why do you eat my head so much? Korada Garu used to tell me, Korada Narsimrao Bharatakala Prapurna, who taught me Yakshaganas, used to say, you question me more than what probably Sita has questioned her own self when we were doing a production. But later he would come and say, thanks, you made me read so much and you brought out so much from me. So I suggest that every Shishya have that inquisitive spirit out of humility, out of trust, out of love and respect. This is about the Guru-shishya parampara. And remember that we are fortunate to be born on Bharata, this land, where this unique system of Guru-shishya parampara exists. I think probably it's the only place where this is existing. And thanks to spirituality and to the Vedas who gave it to dance. And I only hope in the outburst of so many universities, colleges, and diplomas that we don't lose this beautiful Guru Shishya Parampara. Because even to get into MS, you have to be prepared. We have to be, already taught by some guru that takes you to that stage, even to for that. So remember your gurus. They might have taught you even a few steps, but they inspired you. Don't make it convenient to say the names where you want, when you want. Just remember them and treasure them.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. That was really lovely to hear. And also, I'm sure it would have inspired a lot of students, and this definitely would have been an eye opener.
Thank
Now,
you.
as we are approaching towards the end, and you have been associated with SPIC MACAY for many, many years, could you please say something about SPIC MACAY? And also, could you give some message to all the students here and the young volunteers?
How many minutes? Tell me so that I function myself. I can't see the time here. So how many
Okay.
minutes do I have?
5 minutes, should that be okay?
Yeah. Everything is okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
As I told you, when something big has to happen, something phenomenal has to happen, there is one brain which thinks of it. And one brain can never do that. You need a good team to do that. Thank you, Kiran Sethji, for bringing out this beautiful concept of SPIC MACAY. I still remember my one goal was to perform for SPIC MACAY. And before getting the award, I had approached him. I had written a letter. We had no emails. We had no all this. So, and the reply that I got was, in order to avoid the quality, to keep the quality, and to avoid many other things, we only feature artists who are awardees of Sangeet Natak Academy or Padma Shri and so on. Why was this? SPIC MACAY always believed in excellence. And the other thing that was associated with excellence, as you all know, is, and as I truly believe, is what you learn in the primary ages of your life till 11 just remains for your life. So Kiranji's vision, I probably have read somewhere, and I also agree with this: give the best. The first thing what you see is what you remember. And when you see that, the standards, what you want to see is also that. And that image, if you have seen a very good presentation, you will go back to another performance because you want to see that quality, because that has inspired you. And many IAS officers, because I was the chairperson of Sangeet Natak Academy to get funds for that, when I've approached, they used to always bring in SPIC MACAY name and say, yeah, as when I was studying, I had seen a performance which was got by SPIC MACAY. That is the impact that they have created in the minds of a child. And this child who's grown to be an IAS officer or an important person who holds a post in not only in the cities, but they take it to schools to touch the hearts of these children. And thanks to many a legendary artists who have been part of this journey, because performing in such glamorous platforms, to go and perform in a school, and all schools don't have that facilities. But what is the purpose here? To touch the heart of a student who is not exposed, who's not lucky to get such exposure, is the point. This point is very important. And when I have gone to do these workshops, I've seen, like I said, the Guru doesn't teach only dancing. SPIC MACAY doesn't just do this, arranging concerts of music or learning. They try to inculcate in child to explore the possibility of what you have. Imagine, we tell in the cities, I don't know, some parents say, oh, my child should not get up early. she has to sleep. But the first thing in SPIC MACAY, what I saw, children get up for that Nada yoga as early as 4 o'clock. And they sleep at 12 almost. There, and this is what is very important. If you instill in that child, you're capable of getting at 4 o'clock, the child gets up because there's so many others who think the same, who are being told the same. And the way the thing is packaged, how lucky these children are who attend these workshops or the seminar, the conventions. From a child to a teacher, everybody become part of this beautiful concept. Right from how your slippers are placed. There's a choreography that happens in keeping your slippers outside the classroom. And even before you enter the classroom, the volunteers have worked so much that there's a beautiful picture of the workshop leader, a few writings about what the workshop is happening. Punctuality is another thing that I must mention. And so I have to remember myself about the punctuality. I don't want to shoot time. Tell me, Raksha, please. The punctuality. And then that within that 1 hour that you spend with the children from various backgrounds, various villages, various cities, various age groups, you touch upon them, not you to make them great dancers. At least, wow, this is our art form of our land. Know your land. No, love your land first. This thing is what I love and what I have learned from SPIC MACAY. Discipline, punctuality, the connect that happens. And they're seeing so many, as I said, awardees were introduced. Now many youngsters are being featured, of course, moving according to time and to give youngsters also another platform. But the concepts are growing. The root is very important. The roots with which this foundation, SPIC MACAY, has started, that their logo, the Divya Drishti. It suggests that have a Divya Drishti, know your arts, and the color of yellow and red, which is again the color of the sun, the energy, have that energy. And they are exposed to so many kind of art forms. You begin to love yourself, you begin to explore yourself, you begin to love your world, your country. And in the process, the main thing being the respect, learn that respect. Otherwise, if there's no love and respect, what is life? And without arts, what is life? That's the mission of SPIC MACAY. And I've had cherished lovely memories, and especially from the Bangalore chapter, because I come from Karnataka. All the volunteers have done such a great job. And there are many young volunteers too. It's such a learning for them. And I wish all of the viewers and all of you with this message, especially for dancers or any artist, I want to say one message. If you want to be good in anything, if it's dance, practice and take care of your body, because the body is the temple. To study, also your body is the temple. You have to sit for so many hours, you have to meditate. So, yoga can help you a great deal. So take care of your physique, your angikam, it is called in dance. Next, if you want to be a very good dancer or a very good whatever you feel that you choose, then work on your mind power, mental power. For achieving everything, you need to have a strong mind. You have to challenge yourself. You have to face all the hardships. Develop a strong mind. If you want to be an excellent dancer or anything, any field that you want to excel in, learn to express yourself. Expression is very important. Even for a teacher to come out with this, that curious eyes, the curious questions, that I want to know more, or asking, saying that you don't know. Express yourself with your loved ones and with the entire world. And if you want to be somebody with a difference, you want to be phenomenal, then just fall in love with whatever you do. Wish you success, and thanks SPIC MACAY for this special day.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a beautiful message. And also, it was our honor to have you as part of Anubhav Kuchipudi interactive session. With this, I hand over to Lakshmi ji to conclude the same.
Ma'am, it's just mesmerizing. I think there are no words to really go back and and say whatever you've said. It's just speechless, ma'am, and we're very, very honored, and we're very thankful for your association with SPIC MACAY. And from the entire SPIC MACAY family, a big, big thank you. And we hope this association is going to continue for generations to come. Thank you so much.
Looking forward. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.